Okay, again, forget the fact that it's not Paladino Terminal. I just didn't want to sit through a load screen. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you to El Bracho for the 26th-month resub. He says, good morning. Well, sir, you've joined in time for some choice matchups. We got a PvP leading into a guaranteed ZVP finals. If you just missed it, Sue won 2-0, and he'll play the winner of this set. In the top right, we have the blue Protoss Classic.
In the bottom left, as the pink Protoss, it is super. And they're like pastel colors. It's like Easter.
Did you...
What?
You're not wrong, which first off bothers me. Secondly,
Yeah.
I actually had to go to the dollar store today to buy, like, you know, the sticky tape and stuff to put the stuff on my walls. And you go in and like half the store, like, it's having like a holiday crisis. Like a third of the store is St. Patty's stuff, half of it's Easter, and then the rest of it's like discount Valentine's stuff.
Yo, yeah, exactly. I was actually thinking about that because we picked up Funfetti. Do you know what Funfetti is?
I can guess from the name, but go on.
Well, no, it's a cake mixture.
Oh, is it? Okay, I was gonna say it just sounds like super fun confetti.
So apparently this isn't a thing everywhere, or I guess maybe people just don't buy the pre-mixed cake, you know, stuff. So I don't know which one it is, but we were hanging out with this this guy who is visiting Virginia for like a week.
Is he cute?
And he was like, his name is Steve, believe it or not.
It's fate. It's fate. It's meant to
he's
be.
my friend's
You know what?
ex.
Hang on. His name is Steve, and
Yes.
he's alive.
That's true.
I'm just saying, Zombie Grub. The stars are aligning.
Oh my God. Anyways, he's my friend's ex from like a long time ago. But anyways, so he didn't know what Funfetti was. So of course we had to show him because Funfetti is delicious, all right? And while we were at the grocery store, I was like, you know, why don't people buy like discounted Valentine's Day candy and put it in Easter baskets? And someone looked at me and they're like, we
These
do.
Easter
and I'm like,
eggs are shaped like hearts.
okay, so that's like the one reason is that if you're really gonna go hard with the whole like egg-shaped shit, then fine, do what you want. But like,
Well,
I don't know, man. It feels like it's gonna be like worth the money that you'd save.
I feel like you could say
like more than one kid.
These are two eggs leaning against each other. That's why it looks like a heart.
Yeah, I could just like chop one in half.
Okay, but here's the thing. Like, how frugal are you? Where it's like the difference of $5 to get like Easter candies versus Valentine's candies.
So I'm thinking, right, because we used to do family Easter as we watched this PvP unfold, really paying attention. And my family Easter, my mom had 3 siblings and they each had 2 or 3 kids. So that's like a lot of kids around the same age at one point that they'd all want Easter candy. And they'd also do like Easter hunts. And like they'd really shower us with gifts and shit like that. Well, not gifts, but like chocolate, right? I think if it's that much, you really should just maybe go with some Valentine's Day candy to save, like, I would guess maybe at least like $40. I think it'd be worth it.
I guess, yeah, especially if you're maybe like a low-income family too, that makes a lot of sense. I shouldn't be so condescending about it. Just because, thanks to all this dirty streamer money, I can afford premium Easter eggs, Cadbury and a Hershey's. Oh, the name brands I could tell you.
I don't understand the hype with Cadbury, right? But it does remind me of that the 30 Rock episode where they're like, do you know anyone who like specializes in Easter egg dye? And it's always that one company, whatever they're called. Oh, I can't remember the name of the company.
Are you snapping at me?
Sorry. No, not at you. Anyway, it's whatever, but
well,
yeah,
so
that's what I'll do.
So I was trying to put this out, but anyways, the soccer fight goes really well for Classic initially. He almost picks off one of Super's. He's waiting out the overcharges, but while this goes on, Super had tried to get some probe kills. It's a good thing Classic warped into Adepts, or he would have had a lot more struggles to deal with, so a couple go down. While this happens, looks like Adepts also traded into the main, get chased out, so I mean, so much of this game was hinged around this pylon having the defense, but now it's weak. Overcharge pops, it's not going to hold, and Classic's got a lot of stalkers to fight with.
It is slow warp-ins, though, and as long as Super didn't take massive damage on his stalkers, I think it's okay.
I still feel like that was a really great trade, picking off the Mothership core at the very end. As he falls back, the concern, of course, lays, like, will he be able to defend the counter? And I think he should, with a couple of warp-ins. Yeah, Adepts coming in specifically.
Yeah, a little bit deja vu. Super with the faster resonating glaives, already has the robo. I mean, yeah, if Classic had committed any further or lost any more, you know, being overeager, well, this might have been a golden opportunity to try and counterattack, build a Warp Prism real quick, like after that Immortal, but maybe not now. I mean, he's still going to build a Warp Prism, I guess, and maybe he will still attack, but it's cross-spawn Cactus, it's a little bit later than I would have thought. It might not work. But, Dark Shrine.
I think the DTs are actually a really interesting element, because one in Classic still has this Pylon. Slow Warp in Society, can sneak in a couple of Dark Templar potentially. And I will say, Observers are not super prominent in this matchup. Like, you might have one, sometimes two, but rarely are there like a lot of blanket detection. So these DTs might actually, I'm gonna go as far as to say win the game. It really depends on how badly Super gets caught off guard by them.
Yeah, I like it as a follow-up too, because I think if it's a totally normal game, then you might even think that they'll always have two observers. But in this game, yeah, Super for Immortals and a Warp Prism to try and counter on the observer.
What's funny about this too is like one DT at home, one DT across the map, and boom, you're actually in a great spot. Classic as well. Not that this is necessarily like a super cheesy move, but he has been playing a little bit more cheesy than most in a lot of the games we've been seeing, primarily versus Terran, of course. So I don't think this is too out of character for him to go for DTs.
It's not, but PvP can still be a rare beast, I guess. So I feel like it is kind of the issue of like Protosses usually would have observers and might not have that bad of a time dealing with DTs, but you know, the rarity of the matchup, you know, you only do DTs once every 6 games, and it's still something you may just not be thinking of.
Well, Depth's on one side, DT's on the other. He could focus on the Pylon and stop the Robo from having any detection come out. That's exactly what he's going to do. That's going to be game then.
It is, yeah. There's no observer, and there's not like a disruptor to try and blindly shoot at it. Damn.
Very nicely done at a Classic. The oddest kind of surgical precision, because if we hadn't left the game right away, he was actually going to lose the fight at home if there had been detection there, but no detection across the map, no detection at home. These were all the ingredients necessary to have Super lose that game.
To Super lose that. Yeah.
Someone was asking, by the way, why there's no Cactus Valley intro. So the reason for that right now is the music. We've just recently left our YouTube network, and they provided some copyright clear music from before. We try to do things rather by the books with these, so I'm not using music we don't have permission or licensing for, and I just can't quite find new music yet. So we'll get the new Cactus Valley intro. Well, it'll be the old one basically brought back with new music up sooner eventually, but put a lot of focus on trying to get the other intros done because we didn't have any of those available before. Also, big shout out to Nice Username. He's been doing great work with our YouTube channel. We talk about this all the time, but recently we've just had, I don't want to say like an explosion. It's not like we've had like thousands of subscribers out of nowhere, but we've had more subs to our YouTube channel in the last 2 months than we have for the first 2 years. So I'm going to attribute that primarily to him. I'm assuming people like the spoiler-free formats, the VODs being uploaded nicely. I mean, that Nerd Show Thermal VOD, by the way, is almost at 17,000 views now from the Best of 10 map test finals. I mean, our YouTube's starting to pick up, which is really cool to see. And for clarity's sake, for you guys who aren't aware, I really wish I could pay Joey more. I can't, so the concession is he just gets all the money that the YouTube channel generates. So if you're watching ads, if you're doing stuff, like, you're helping him out a ton.
Whoops. I just misspelled in Twitch chat.
No problem.
No problem. And people are going to guess who I was talking to, and they're just
wow, that's really awkward now. I can't believe. I'd asked Zombie Group if she'd want to go on a date with me, guys, and she was like, no problem, but she told you guys instead. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the least likely, least believable thing, and that was the first thing that came to mind.
Anyway. Wow, this is the same order of maps.
Yeah, new precinct, or New Kirk precinct coming in, excuse me.
It's not a new precinct, it's a new Kirk precinct. Wait a minute. Let's get the game!
Same difference? Yeah, we'll see you guys here in a sec. Alright, game number 2 kicking off here for the Olimoleague semifinals. The winner of this moves on to fight against Sue. It's good to be back casting some StarCraft. I missed you guys. I hope you missed us. In the bottom right, he's down 1 game. It's the pink Super.
In the bottom left is the blue Protoss. It's Classic. No longer a pastel color.
Yeah. So, by the way, just mentioning that we've been offline for a while, we are still going to have a bit of downtime, again, with IEM still going on. To let you guys know what the plans are, we have the replays that nobody has publicly seen to cast of the wildcard group number 2 for Ting. We got the Corsair Cup on Monday, which will be coming back, and then we get into full swing casting like every day pretty much from March, leading up to the live event, which will eventually be the Ting Season 3 Finals at the Corsair headquarters in San Jose. It's going to be awesome. We got a lot of planning and prep. Zomgrub and us at the Corsair folks had a bit of a conversation yesterday about rolling out like how we're going to do invites, or do we have people sign up and get tickets. Like, there's so much going on behind the scenes. So this downtime is actually kind of nice because it's the last bit of downtime we're going to have for a while. But as things pop up and as there's things to cast, we're still trying to make new fun things. We're working on something right now with the folks in the BaseTradeTV house in Korea. Scarlett recently got back. You got Major, Kelzer, Time, none of which went to IEM, and hopefully we can get some in-house. We have plans for an in-house tournament. We just don't have dates and time yet.
Dates and times shortened to dimes, actually. Wow.
Dimes and dames.
Which shortens to... Wait a minute.
Dimes. It's like an Australian says it with the extra I in there.
Dimes. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done starting next week, so one more cast and then no breaks. Well, actually I think we have like a Thursday off or something, like in the middle of the month for some reason, but that's it.
Yeah, actually after this cast is done, Zomgrub has to do some stuff, but later today we'll be finalizing your schedule. Also, I've been looking into it, so our website's been down for a considerable amount of time, and it's getting to the point of like kind of unacceptable. I really can't fault the guy who's in charge of our website. He has genuinely been ill for a very long time, and recovering from a car crash didn't help any of that. If you guys ever see Raymar in chat, make sure to give him some love because he's been having some tough times. But for us, I'm thinking about just trying to get like some sort of public Google Calendar or something. I'm sure there's got to be an app or something where we can just publish our schedule, because I mean, really, our website was probably mostly used for our schedule, I think, more than anything else. It was a glorified schedule is what it was.
Really, anything that's on the website can be done through Google, I guess. I mean, we probably should have already moved over to Google Calendar, maybe. Yeah. But that and the rules, I guess.
I feel really bad though, because I really didn't think it would take so long to get back up, right? So I'm like, let's give it another week. We'll give it another week. We'll give it another week. It's been too long at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
So stupid.
Not much we said about this game. The Adepts tried to get something done, but they didn't. But their sacrifice was not, totally bad. It's equal on the technology front.
Yeah, it was really sad actually. Blizzard announced that they had this like bundle pack coming out with all the skins.
Oh yeah.
I really thought that'd be something new, not like, hey, you can get discount on the 3 skins we have available.
It's this is why I watch the Thanos on Twitter, to be honest, is that I don't see the Battle.net posts first. I don't even see the Reddit post of the Battle.net post first. I've seen Nathanius complaining and comments on him first, so I know what to expect.
The thing is, though, he's not wrong, and I actually agree with a lot of the posts he makes. He'll favorite him or retweet him and what have you, but I don't know. Like, it just... It's very clear to me that skins work. You see pros obviously have bought them. I'm sure thousands of like casual players have bought them. They work in other Blizzard games like Heroes of the Storm. So like, what is the reluctance? Like, I'm just at this point now where I know StarCraft has the support staff. I know they have the team to do this. So I just don't know why they don't though. Like, it boggles my mind.
Considering all the bugs, I really feel like they're gonna have to like retool the infrastructure or some fancy way of saying that in programming language to actually even like make it work.
In very simple language, just want to give Blizzard my money.
Yeah, but like if StarCraft
shut up and take my money.
It's like a 7-year-old game at this point, and like the engine has not been updated. I think like it's what I've heard anyways. So I imagine it's a little bit difficult. Yeah, this is maybe a problem. We do have super.
Not really
though. His army okay. Well, I'm talking about the natural, but then he moves to sentries.
Well,
on purpose.
What was really massive about that was super targeting down that War Prism made all the world of difference to these 4 stalkers getting out of hand. Like with a little bit of quote-unquote blink control through the War Prism, Classic had a lot more staying power. But with the War Prism being half dead before the first stalker came out, Super had no problem deflecting that.
Yeah. And that thing with the sentries, it might have actually been on purpose. I don't know. I didn't see the adepts target the sentries, but they definitely can go down to adepts. So that was actually just about as good of a hold as you can get. Could have been a lot worse. Super's getting a lot of gateways. Whereas Classic instead of adding on too many, does have Blink finishing up.
Crime Dog 75 in chat says, by the way, it's 8:30 a.m. and I'm drinking Kraken. I've just recently been through the torture of drinking that on stream. I don't know why you would willingly do that.
That reminds me, I actually hit 50 subs yesterday, which I'm very thankful for. Like,
hey,
but,
I've got like 12.
The easy thing to do when you hit a sub goal is to have a drunk stream. That's honestly, I think, what everyone wants anyway. So I have to plan a drunk stream, and it should be a drunk civilization stream, and we should see how aggressive I get, how much of a bad warmonger I am, the drunker I get.
Are we still able to cash in grubs for Monica dances?
I think I changed that.
Then I have no interest in tuning in for that stream.
Hold on now. I changed it to another dance. You can still get me to dance. It just won't be the Monica dance anymore. There's already YouTube clips of that, so. Or Twitch clips, actually.
Yeah, I'm the one to clip them. I got like 12 of them.
You and a couple others, for sure. Oh yeah, what do you think about, well, we have this third basic. Actually, you know what? Super's all in. Never mind. I'll hold off. Yeah, those gateways actually led to something other than just, like, preempting the expand, which is sometimes the case. This is actually trying to be aggressive, and oh my god, Classic, why are you? It's over here. I
don't know. This is a problem. The Immortals can try and take a fight. The War Prism should be able to save them, but the Sentry is almost certainly going to die. Oh, no, he actually scoops it up at the last second. That's real nice.
That was really nice.
But
Super could still expand and probably be okay, but still no indication of it.
The problem is, though, he's not coming in with, like, an extraordinary amount of gateways, right? Like, this is 6 gateways to 6 gateways. Like, he doesn't actually have warp-in potential to overwhelm his opponent. It's not like 10 Zealots are going to be coming in out of nowhere. Army supply does favor Super for certain coming into the start of this fight, but this is a tough fight to take for either player.
Yeah, it's just like the one extra warp-in he got by having the gateway sooner and more money may or may not be enough. It kind of feels like it won't be enough. Like, if there are pylons right here, I think it's definitely not enough, but without them, it's still a little bit in question. Classic needs to continue on, though, so he's trying to fit in this robotic span. I think get one disruptor. That might even be worth, even if it's targeted down, because that would still take, you know, Super's Blink to do that.
You know, the thing about this is, like, numbers aside for a moment, the concave potential here is so dangerous. You got a couple of force fields, a guarding shield in there, and that's why Super's really hesitant to take this fight. Like, he knows that if he pick off part of the army, great, but if he can't, then he's in a lot of trouble. That Time Warp's actually going to hit the army for maybe the first time ever in StarCraft's history, being useful to the fight. The units are stuck within it, the Immortal included. Stalkers can blink away, of course, not a problem, but this fight for Classic on the defense, again, he's at a pretty significant army disadvantage, but he takes a pretty good fight.
Those first holds are actually not that bad. Disruptor's almost out, by the way, so I think it is still going to be worth, even if it dies immediately. Because it would have to be a blink forward to do that. Otherwise, Super will have to, you know, split or blink back, and it just might overall be worth it. But I think ideally you're going to be looking for the big hits.
Probes are bold as hell going through that army.
Hey, if they took up any shots whatsoever, been worth. But there's that blink forward like I was talking about, so we only get a couple of shots. That is their blink now on cooldown. The War Prism's still alive for Classic 2 to micro these Immortals, but he's not getting to it. Never mind.
But that's the problem. Like, the Immortals from Super disappeared with that. You know, he's so busy fighting the Disruptor. So GG. Those two Immortals are going ham in the background, and Classic takes the series 2-0. And we're left with, oh, it's that GSL Super Sick rematch, guys. Classic versus Sue. And it's a best of 5, not a best of 3. If you guys watched the Ting Open, we recently had these guys possibly fight each other. It was all best of 3s. It never happened. It wasn't good. It wasn't hype. But this time around, the finals for the Olimoleague, if you watched that GSL match, then you should already be excited. And if you didn't watch that GSL match, you're in for what is probably a very nice treat. Either way, I guess we'll dip off to a commercial break. Before we do, though, thank you very much to JQX204S for that new sub. Very difficult name to say, so that's why I read it out letter by letter. Anyways, we'll see you guys here in a couple of minutes. Thanks for watching.